Welcome to Corner of Calm. Um, I'm excited about today. What I was thinking about when I was trying to do the words that came to me when I talked about what we were going to talk about were dreams and expectations. And dreams are important because when they aren't like, well, even fairy tales, but when there are sort of like goals and aspirations and visions. We're talking about that a little bit before we started recording. Um, they pull us in a really positive way and give us a focus that things don't usually have. But I did expectations because we've been talking about that a little bit. When we talk about gratitude and curiosity, those are things that like form us. It's like when we practice gratitude, it's amazing. Things start showing up differently. And these are all really, 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 really good words. But I wanted to share a story about, and expectations can be negative. You can, everybody says, things always come in threes and, things like that. And if you don't believe that, they don't. But if you believe it, the third negative thing always happens. It almost always does. So I'm going through some transition, as some of you know, and I've been playing with this sort of like, so how, I don't know. And I just happened to, I always take my journal when I go out, and I was out for breakfast. And last Saturday, I wrote this: I would like sparkles. And by sparkles, I mean sort of those little unexpected things that just sort of make life more interesting, more dynamic, sometimes more grand. Sometimes for me, it's being spoiled. Anyway, would like sparkles, magic, a little wow today. May I be able to see it? And then I forgot about it. And I had a day. I went to the farmer's market. I did whatever. And on Sunday, I just sort of like crashed. A lot of plans saying I had a marvelous day. I took my housemate out for her birthday and a really unexpected boat trip. And that was, wasn't sparkles, it was planned. Well, actually, it ended up being sparkles, but that's another story. Anyway, but I was just sort of in this space, and I was lying down, ready to go to bed Sunday night. And I was thinking, like, what am I going to say to these guys on Tuesday? And then I thought, I remembered the farmer's market. And I thought, like, did I write that thing about wanting sparkles on Saturday? And I had. So let me tell you about the farmer's market, which is some of the best examples here. And it does two things. What happened on Sundays, we ended up with absolutely the positively best table, and it was a reservation thing where they assigned them, but that's a different story. Anyway, so I went and walked around, and there was this guy playing the accordion to this little girl, and he was playing the Itsy Bitsy Spider. And for some reason, that just gladdened my heart. And I walked around a little bit and did my things, but I was doing the end of the month regrouping with budgeting things, and bought some fruit that hadn't been part of the plan, but I'd figured out how to do it. And Rainier cherries were still in season at this one stand, I don't know how. So I went back, and this guy was still playing the accordion, and this time to some little girls, and he had percussion instruments out for them to play with and all that. And I started to walk away, and I thought, what the heck? And I went back and put $1 in his thing. And he looked up at me, he said, "What's your name?" And I started crying, almost crying. I wanted to tell him what great job he'd done. I wanted to tell him my name, and I was so choked up I couldn't talk. And I don't do this. So I walked away and didn't think about it. But when I was lying in bed, I realized that was a true sparkle. Just the whole joy of watching him unexpectedly deal with these kids. And if I hadn't been looking for it, I'd have missed it. And then to top it off, I have a credit card that is sort of runs sort of like a lottery system, and they give you like 2 cents here and 24 cents here off of purchases once in a while, and they play it like a game. They gave me back the entire cost of that fruit I bought that I didn't expect. All of a sudden, it was like $10.50 worth of credit on my card as a gift from the pieces. So there's 2 sparkles, and there were some other things too. There were other little things that happened just because, really, I think because I put it out there that I expected them and I wanted them and I was naming them. So play with it. See, right now I'm looking for clarity and ease, and I think it's going to come. In fact, I know it is. So keep your curiosity, keep your gratitude, and claim your expectations.